At dawn, Mary Magdalene and the other Mary approach the burial site. The heavy stone blocking the entrance represents absolute earthly finality, a grave permanently sealed by the state. But a sudden, violent earthquake shatters the silence. The physical ground itself buckles under the weight of divine intervention. An angel of the Lord descends from heaven. He effortlessly rolls back the massive stone and simply sits upon it, taking a posture of absolute triumph over death. The elite, heavily armed guards stationed to secure the site are overwhelmed by terror. They freeze, entirely paralyzed by the sight, collapsing to the ground like dead men. The ultimate symbol of human finality, a politically sealed, militarily guarded grave, has been effortlessly dismantled by a single terrifying display of divine authority. The angel turns his attention to the women and delivers a staggering declaration. He is not here, for he has risen, as he said. Looking at this dark, empty doorway, the women receive an invitation to see for themselves. The angel tells them to inspect the physical space where Jesus lay, offering the empty tomb as undeniable, verifiable evidence. The angel follows this proof with an urgent command. The women must leave immediately and tell the disciples to travel north to Galilee to meet him. Sprinting away from the rock wall, the women flee the site, entirely consumed by a complex, intense mixture of deep fear and great joy. Then, directly on the road, Jesus suddenly appears to them. The women immediately drop down, taking hold of his feet in an act of profound worship. Jesus offers a calming reassurance, telling them, "Do not be afraid." He then gives explicit instructions to tell his brothers to journey to Galilee, where they will finally see him. The physical reality of the resurrection forces an immediate change in these believers. Paralyzing grief is replaced entirely by joyous worship and an urgent, purposeful mission. Meanwhile, the awakened guards rush back into the city. Terrified, they report the exact supernatural events they witnessed directly to the chief priests. The religious elders immediately orchestrate a political cover-up. They gather the soldiers and hand over a large sum of silver as a bribe. The priests then manufacture a precise false narrative for the guards to spread. They instruct them to say that the disciples came by night and stole the body while they were sleeping. This piece of propaganda proved highly effective. This specific explanation of the stolen body was widely spread and continued to be believed among the Jews for generations. On one side sits the verifiable reality of a miracle. On the other, earthly authorities resort to manufactured lies and financial corruption to maintain their fragile grip on power. The 11 disciples follow their instructions. They travel north, arriving at a designated mountain looking out over the Sea of Galilee. Upon finally seeing the risen Jesus, their reaction is deeply human and unvarnished. They worship him, but the text crucially notes that some doubted. Jesus steps forward to make his ultimate claim. He officially declares that all authority in heaven and on earth is given entirely to him. This map illustrates how he breaks down his final command based on that new authority. He tells them to go and make disciples of all nations, to baptize them, and to teach them to observe everything he commanded. He then offers a final, grounding promise to seal the narrative. He tells them, "And behold, I am with you always, to the end of the age." A violently contested event at a single sealed tomb in Jerusalem ultimately dismantled the absolute limits of earthly power, establishing an unstoppable global mission and an eternal, universal authority.